Hi guys, welcome to this channel. My name is Njoki Mambo, and before I even go into what I want to record today, I want to say a big thank you to you, my followers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following me after the interview with Lane. I know most of you are here from Lane's channel, and I'm so grateful for having you here. Thank you for being amazing people. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your comments. It's been overwhelming. It's been beautiful. It's been lovely. And I really hope that we can uh, we can end the trauma cycles in our families, that we can be better parents to our kids, that we can raise less traumatized generations together. Thank you so much. I cannot say thank you enough, but thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So today, I want to talk about trauma cycles and how they manifest themselves in families. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you a story. I did a post about this earlier on Facebook, and I'm kind of going to tell you a story about my family and how I've seen the trauma cycle, manifest. So if you watch my video with Lena, the first part was me describing my family, where I come from. My father was very violent. He was very abusive to my mom, and of course, that spilled to us, the kids. And it's been several years of trying to come to terms with what happened to me as a child, and a healing journey. And part of healing is being able to see the person who caused you pain and trauma as a person. So, in my quest to understand who my father was and why he was the way he was with my mother and us, I came to understand so many things that have helped me join the dots. And please, this is not me making excuses for an abusive person. He was an abuser and he was abusive, and that did a number on me and my brother and my mother. But here's the thing. My father's parents were like two different poles, the north and the south. My grandfather was this short guy, very calm, very collected, very kind, just the cool people. My grandmother, on the other hand, was a towering giant. She was tall, very authoritative, an attitude like a GSU officer, like that woman, and a sharp tongue. She would, she was the one that was the dominant spouse. And on top of that, she was very abusive to my grandfather. She used to beat my grandfather, like literal beating. And then she used to take all his money. And in fact, like you can go to my Facebook, you can read the whole story there. But I know my grandmother owned properties in Nairobi from the money she took from my grandfather, because both of them were trained and employed teachers. They worked up to retirement. My grandfather didn't even have access to his pension, so she used to take all of it. So my father, no, Mambo was the firstborn son. So he used to see the way his mother treated his father. This is a woman who would beat up this man in front of his friends, in front of the kids, in front of the extended family. Like, she really didn't care. So my dad grew up seeing his father being a shell of a man because of my grandmother. So I think what I've come to realize, even after speaking to several of my dad's friends, what I've come to realize is that my dad grew up knowing that there was no way he was going to turn out like his father. And he figured that the only way to become strong, so that his his spouse will not abuse him the way his father was abused by his mother, was to adopt the tactics he saw the dominant spouse in that family use to become powerful. So my dad from the onset learned that the violent spouse is the one who becomes dominant. The one who has physical power over the other one is the winner in the situation. Okay. Now I want you to see that this is a boy who knew, like, traditionally the way a man was supposed to be. So he saw his father as being weakened by how he was treated by his mother. Then in his mind he knew, nobody is ever going to treat me the way my father is treated. His Most of my father's friends coincided. My dad was short. He was a short man. So apparently, when he joined high school, my father only made friends with tall guys. And by the come to think of it, even as a grown man, most of his friends were just tall people. Tall people with stature, like, huge bodies. But funny enough, my dad was the most volatile one. He's the one who'd pick a fight from, nowhere. There's even one of his friends who commented on my posts on Facebook the other day and said, if you fought with Mr. Mambo, he would not stop beating you even if you fainted. Like, he would beat you to a pulp. So even the taller guys used to fear this short guy because he had this violence in him. From childhood, he had been cultured to understand that violence is the only way to dominate. So in his marriage, he manifested that to the end. And also, I think for him, it was also a way to prove to his mother that I did not become my father. I can be powerful. I'm told there's a time my dad and my grandmother worked in the same school. My father was a deputy head teacher, and my grandmother at the time was just a regular teacher. And that if my grandmother went to school late, my father would really be on her case. Like, he didn't care it was his mother. He was trying to show her that I am the one in charge now. I'm not I'm not like my father. I'm not like what you've made my dad to be. So dad carried on that violence into his marriage. Forward on us. And I would say it ends with him because his behavior towards us, towards my mother, is the reason why I decided to start this gentle parenting initiative. Like, gentle parenting, and I keep saying gentle parenting usually doesn't have anything much to do with the child, but the parent and the environment, the immediate environment, because kids operate on a monkey see, monkey do basis. What they see in the immediate environment is what becomes their reality. It's what becomes their life. Okay? I want you to imagine, and I know there are people in the audience, I know there are people in the comments, especially who are brought up in non-violent homes, who are not beaten, who are not abused, and they've turned out just fine. It's sad that as a society we have glorified violence as a tool to dominate and to be powerful. Look around in the society. It is always the person who has some sort of physical assertiveness that is seen as powerful. Okay, it's always the child in school who beats up the other people who is seen as any mwanaume, you know. And I think it's time for us to end this. It's way overdue. Now, me telling you the story about my family and now how my father borrowed violence from his mother and carried it on to his adult life is my perfect example of how trauma is carried from generation to the other. Okay, if I did not decide to do better, I probably would have decided, okay, so this is how my dad treated my mom. Nobody will ever treat me the way the way my mom was treated. So I would I would have probably picked up the violence and decided I'm going to be the violent one. After all, I'm named after my grandmother, and people usually say I'm the tough cookie. Like I'm I'm like my grandma, but no, I'm not like my grandma. I'm my own self. I'm Joki Mambo, and I'm a gentle parent, and I'm loving this journey. Tell me in the comment section if this resonates with you, or it's something you understand, or it's something just that makes sense. Okay. I hope to interact with you in the comment section, and I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Bye.